Another video where today I want to take a look at a really interesting piece of intel we can find in Black Ops Cold War Zombies to do with the Crooked Man. It is similar to an Easter egg we had in Classified for Black Ops 4, but along with that, since it's part of it, we're also going to take a look at all of the Dark Aether intel that is a part of Season 2. This includes Firebase C and Outbreak. Treyarch have added in new intel for both of those maps, so we're going to learn about the people trapped within the Dark Aether and their stories. As always, if you're going to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, but let's get into it. Here we go, and enjoy. So the first Dark Aether intel we have as a part of Season 2 is a new radio transmission. It is called Crooked House, and it is a message from a person trapped within the Dark Aether named Pytra. I've probably said his name wrong, but whilst trapped in the Dark Aether, he tells a very interesting tale.
He was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked style. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. There was a woman that I met. Her gait was far from crooked. She told me never to lose faith, in spite of how I looked. She told me that I was not worthless. The German accent threw me off, but her words inspired me nonetheless. We will fix this crooked house.
He said there was a crooked man and he went a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence against a crooked style. He brought a crooked cat which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. He then goes on to explain there was a woman that he met in the Dark Aether who told him to never lose faith. In spite of how he looked, in spite of how the Dark Aether had changed him, this woman told Pytra that he wasn't worthless. He tells us her words inspired him. Now we know during this time, since this intel is found on Firebase C, Samantha was also trapped inside of the Dark Aether. Without knowing what we know, which I'll explain in just a second, we could assume anyway that the woman Pytra met is Sam. She's the one that told him not to lose hope. But there is an Easter egg in Classified that is very similar. The tale that we've just heard Pytra tell is an old English nursery rhyme. The Crooked Man is supposed to be a Scottish general. The Crooked Style was the alliance between parliaments of England and Scotland. They all live together in a crooked house, refers to the agreement between the English and the Scots. That's supposedly the meaning of the rhyme, but there's a kind of horror vibe that you get from it. The Crooked Man sounds kind of scary, but as I was saying earlier, there was an Easter egg in Classified where this exact same tale was told, only this time by the younger version of Samantha.
There was a crooked man, and he walked a crooked mile. He found crooked sixpence upon a crooked
Ugh, smells like Nikolai looks. And smells.
He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse.
This is America, damn it!
I'll
get to you, all in good time.
In a little crooked house.
So we can kind of make a connection here because we have Pytra telling the story of the Crooked Man. He mentions in this same radio how there is a woman he met in the Dark Aether who helped him, who told him he's not worthless. That woman was probably Samantha, and then in Classified we have the child version of Samantha telling this exact same story. So to me that's the first really interesting piece. Next up, as a part of the Dark Aether intel, there are 7 documents. These are all from a stranger trapped within the Dark Aether. The first one says day 6421. I must be honest with myself. I knew there would be no truce with those men. I knew it would end in bloodshed. They stole my crucible, but they did not understand what it was. Too bad for them, I'd already used it on my own weapon. 5 men and still outgunned them. 5 human lives. Too easy. Why don't I feel worse about killing them? Is my humanity slipping away? Will I end up just another beast prowling this land? The next message we get from this stranger is on day 6457. He says, finally starting to shake off dark thoughts. Cannot allow myself to sink into savagery. This land will not break me. Technology is the key. I am only alive because I rebuilt the crucible. Must keep working, must keep building. I will return to my transmitter project. Someone will answer my calls, and I will warn the world of the threat it faces from this place of darkness. His next message is called Much More to Tell You. It says, my friend, I will share more journal entries later. I hope you have come to understand what my life has been like over here. I would not wish it on anyone. I have so much more to tell you, things I hope you will find useful in the struggles to come. But for now, I must go hunt. I will contact you again soon. The next message we hear from this stranger says, hello again, my friend. I am pleased that you are still alive and still in this fight. I know it's been too long since I last contacted you, but my years trapped in darkness taught me the value of caution. So, I have been observing you and your compatriots. Please understand, I had to be sure I could trust you. What I have seen is your courage in the face of unspeakable horrors and your devotion to each other, and it's restored my faith in humanity and my resolve to defend the world. I still have many questions, but they can wait for later. His next message is called Divided World. One reason I was so wary is that I have observed how the world has changed since I was trapped here. You have come so far in so many ways, but still, I look back on the Great War against the Axis powers. I remember East and West uniting against the great evil. I always thought that with evil defeated, we would move forward together. But as the years rolled by, I have watched an icy hatred split the world in two. You could utterly destroy each other now. All it takes is one careless moment. I fear nothing was learned from the war. I see a third world war in the making. I can stand by no longer. Help me save you from the darkness and from yourselves. His next message is called Trust Me. My friend, I see that your people have harnessed the dark powers of this place and turned them against the darkness itself. Your superiors may even believe they have all they need to end this conflict between worlds and then force your human enemies to their knees. But you have only scratched the surface. I have learned things in my time here that you could scarcely believe. There is much more I can share with you. But just as I wouldn't place a rifle into a child's hand, I must be sure I am not handing a much more destructive force to those without the wisdom to use it. May our bond grow deeper. May you truly prove worthy of my trust. And his final message is called More to Follow. Communicating with you like this has meant more to me than I can ever say. It saved me from despair. It gave me something I thought I long lost, hope for the future. But words on a screen are not enough. I hunger for the sound of your voice. I long to speak with someone who is free of this soul-crushing place. So I am working to make this system capable of producing sound. I may not be able to establish a two-way connection, but at the very least I would have you hear my voice. There is so much more to tell you. Your lives may depend on it. So what we have there are a bunch of documents from the stranger trapped within the Dark Aether. He is making contact to the outside world. He's gone through various different events over his time. He's killed people, he's come up against the monsters trapped in the Dark Aether, but in the end, all he wants to do is talk to someone on the outside world. He's trying to make a transmitter so he can do that, but he's withholding a lot of information, stuff about the Dark Aether that we don't know. So there we go, some of the Dark Aether intel as a part of Season 2. There are also some artifacts, but I'm not going to go over them. We don't get told anything interesting, but there was some really cool stuff in here. So as always, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like rating. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.